Game
and Grub.
Hello and welcome to Game and Grub, where we play with our food. I'm your host, Jonathan, and with me is my co-host...
I forgot my name. It's Hammy.
Oh, well... Yeah. Welcome, Hammy.
Thank you.
This
it's
is
good to be back.
This is our podcast.
Yeah.
Where we talk about games.
And foods.
Yeah. And grub.
Yeah, which is fast food typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something quick, dirty, usually good.
Usually good.
You
wouldn't know from this podcast because it's usually, we try new things and they're usually we found so far very few successes. And guess what? We're not breaking that streak today.
Nope.
We had something incredibly foul today. What did we have today, Jonathan?
Oh, and I don't know what it is. If we just decided, hey, it's a sandwich shop, right? So they could probably make a sandwich.
Sure.
That might be their one job. That might be the one thing that they're good at.
See, I was on the other end of that. I had no faith in Subway doing anything right because it's one of those places that I just avoid completely because it's not good. I don't like Subway sandwiches.
I used to eat Subway a lot when the footlongs were $5. Do you remember the age of the $5 footlong?
I do, and I remember that cool theme song. I don't want to pay $5 even for that. It's not fun. It's not good. Every Subway sandwich is completely mirthless and just not something I want in my mouth.
Well, it was quick, dirty, on the way home, and you could save half for later when you're on the go. If you gotta go camping or you gotta go do a band thing, in high school. Back when I was in high school, I ate a lot of Subway when they had maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Hold on, you're gonna eat a Subway sandwich, which ostensibly has things like lettuce, tomato, onions on it. You're gonna eat half of it now and half of it 4 hours from now?
Maybe.
Does it keep?
Yeah.
Yes?
Depends on which one you get. A meatball wouldn't keep. And then school, when I was going to college, they put in a Subway, and it was really the only thing that was decent food on college campus. So
I disagree. We also had a delicious pizza pie that you could get.
Yeah, but it wasn't $5.
This greasy, delicious pizza pie. They're still cheap.
And is there anything that you like at Subway?
No, I like the bags of chips because they don't touch them. I can get a bag of salt and vinegar Lay's.
They've recently rebranded. I like their new cups. Cups and lids and straws. Those look cool now.
This is a foul restaurant that I'm glad I never have to step inside again.
I mean, I guess I would kind of rep their spicy Italian because it's basically pizza. But then again, you could just get a pizza. But I'm not defending Subway today because Subway has done me wrong.
That's the start of it. I'm surprised we didn't get sick.
That's true. I was just getting off being sick because I had food poisoning a few days ago.
Yes.
And so I was, not having it, not eating anything but dry toast, maybe a saltine cracker. I'm feeling better enough to do this podcast, which usually is a bit of a stretch in the food realm. You're usually getting. I mean, if I tried to eat the Farmhouse King on the day I had food poisoning, boy, wouldn't you believe
you wouldn't be here today.
I would be, in
ICU.
Yep. We had the Reuben.
We had the Reuben, which I don't even want to call it that. It was
no.
Reuben
adjacent. Is a word that was it even Reuben adjacent? All of the ingredients for Reuben today allegedly were present, but calling this a Reuben is it's because it's a sandwich. It's like calling it a PB&J.
It's like calling the McRib barbecue.
Yeah. It's as much a Reuben sandwich as a PB&J is also a sandwich.
I had to, with every fiber of my being, the second I had a bite of it, I had to stop myself from cursing. It was so foul.
Yeah, I took a bite and it was bad.
Nothing worked. Jonathan, what's normally in a Reuben?
So a Reuben is a fantastic sandwich on pumpernickel or marbled rye.
Mm-hmm.
topped with corned beef, sometimes pastrami, sometimes another kind of meat, generally a red, dark, flavorful meat. Then you've got sauerkraut on it, some either Thousand Island or Russian dressing. Maybe you panini it.
It's
It's very simple.
It's one of the classic sandwiches in America, I would say.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even feel like it probably isn't American in origin.
Well, it's a Jewish deli thing, and the Jewish deli is kind of an American thing.
Okay, then yeah.
I mean, they existed in other places, but they really thrived here at the turn of the century, especially with the influx of Jewish immigrants in New York. And you can still find some pretty solid Jewish delis in New York and in some places like Chicago.
It's a hot sandwich.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Cheese. It's got cheese on it. Did I mention the cheese, Swiss cheese?
Yeah. I will say you got the one. Did you get the one with turkey?
I got the corned beef one. The turkey was just literally Subway's regular deli turkey.
Sure.
And so basically, in that way, the Reuben would literally just be a turkey sandwich with some sauerkraut.
I got the corned beef, and it tasted like ham to me.
Yeah, the corned beef wasn't good. And I don't...
The corned beef wasn't good. The Thousand Island wasn't good. The sauerkraut, was it sauerkraut?
The sauerkraut
wasn't good. And I gotta say, the bread, was it good?
It wasn't the right kind of bread.
It wasn't good.
Look, even when Mr. Pickles started serving Reubens,
that's a regional chain, by the way.
Mr. Pickles?
Yeah.
Even when our dumb regional sandwich chain brought out... Why do I keep mentioning regional change on this show? Why do I not know that the restaurants around here are only regional?
Yeah.
Maybe I should get out more. Anyway, even when they added the Reuben to their menu for a limited time, they brought out a loaf of actual pumpernickel to put it on. Because, I don't know, what % of a sandwich's success is the bread, would you say?
99. I probably could have overlooked all the sins inside of the sandwich if it was for a decent bread, but it's that horrible plasticky Subway bread.
Yeah, what kind of bread did you get on it?
I got the regular plain white.
I at least got the wheat, thinking maybe it'll be a rye. Wasn't.
No. Don't go into a Subway with any sort of enthusiasm or wishes or hope.
And it's a Subway, so you have the option to put pepperoncinis, jalapenos, lettuce, tomato.
I went clean on it.
I think I added onions. Because I remember having a Reuben that was really good, some diner somewhere that they had onions on it, and it was it was a good Reuben. So I was like, I'll go with that. Maybe that could save this, because that corned beef looks a little scraggly. Maybe an onion will bring out something in it.
I couldn't finish mine. The high point of my meal was the bag of chips with it.
They do come with a free bag of chips.
Yeah. Hot, delicious. What is it? Auntie Anne's jalapeno kettle chips. Those were delicious. The soda was refreshing.
I had a root beer.
We're just talking about everything else.
Yeah, because if we talk about the sandwich, we're just gonna get angry.
It's awful. What are we gonna rate it in?
Can I just complain more about the Reuben?
Sure, please.
I don't know. So the other thing, I was there, I went. Did you get a 6-inch or a foot long?
Oh, I got a 6-inch. I wasn't gonna commit to a foot long. Did you get a foot long?
Yep. I was.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? I was headed to work,
and I hadn't eaten anything most of the day, and I was like, okay, I'll get a foot long, and my work shift is weird. I get off at 9 p.m., which is slightly past dinner time, and I'm getting there slightly past lunchtime, but I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'll have half now and then half.
God, I hate the sandwich.
Towards the end of my shift, and God, I got it toasted.
I did too.
Because it's a Reuben. It's
good hot.
It's a hot sandwich. Yeah. The corned beef was not. It was I don't know what it was. I don't know. It maybe legally you could call it corned beef, but it meets the minimum legal requirements to be corned beef. If there even are legal requirements for corned beef to exist.
I'd like to reiterate, I hate the sandwich.
But it toasted, so the toasting melted the cheese. He put some Thousand Island on it, slaps it up, bags it up, ready to go. I get to work 5 minutes later. I go to the Subway that's very close to where I work. I open it up. It's already cold somehow. By some manner of science, either they aren't toasting this properly, or the corned beef was frozen when he put it on there, so it toasted toasted it to like a cold.
Because it's cursed.
Yeah, the sandwich
Subway is run by gypsies.
Gosh.
I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a gypsy-owned company.
And then so I microwaved it, and it's always good to microwave your sandwich.
You're making me hungry. Stop it.
Nothing's better than a microwaved sub.
Oh, I hate this sandwich.
And actually, the corned beef being nuked in the microwave tasted a little bit better, but not much.
Can we stop talking about it?
Not enough.
It's making me sick. Like, just thinking about it. You
look physically ill.
I probably look pissed. Like, because I am.
Where would you normally get a Reuben?
I would have to be like a sit-down restaurant, or like a local deli that I knew was good. There's a local deli a few towns over.
Okay.
That is really good, and I'd probably order it from there.
There's a diner in San Francisco, I think called the Pinecrest.
Okay.
Makes a really good Reuben. That's probably one of my favorite Reubens.
I gotta say this. I don't think I'm gonna have a Reuben for a long time. Because it's ruined it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
And I usually, I like Reubens. It's one of my favorite sandwiches.
It's a delicious sandwich.
It's like one of the best sandwiches. And they have destroyed that. Like, the Reuben at Arby's is better than the Reuben at Subway.
I like the Reuben at Arby's. I remember having the good one.
Just because the Reuben at Arby's on marbled rye.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, we're going to make this sandwich that is like a icon, a total icon, like a juggernaut in the sandwich world. Should we put it on our regular Arby's bun? No, let's get real pumpernickel or marbled rye bread to put it on. Subway's like, nah. Not a good sandwich. Don't get the Reuben.
Don't get the Reuben. Don't go to Subway.
Don't.
There's literally, there's infinitely, you have all these choices. Hopefully you're not in a weird food desert where
if you only sandwich, like, go to the store, buy bread. Don't.
Seriously, that's not even a bad,
like,
I hate the sandwich! We're gonna rate, because it's so horrible, we're gonna rate it in Jared Fogel's, because he's a criminal.
Yeah.
And
their spokesperson. Good job, Jared Fogel.
Yeah.
This is what we've been brought to.
This might be his legacy. Like, this might be the last thing he left the company with. Yeah. This cursed recipe for this Reuben. I'm gonna give this sandwich an unprecedented 0 Fogels out of 5.
All right, I'm going to give it 0.5 Fogels out of 5.
Half a Fogel.
If only.
Okay.
If only.
Sure.
Because I get to slice a Jared Fogel in half for his crimes.
Okay. Where are you going to slice him?
What
half of Fogel are we going to keep?
I want the top half. The bottom half is up to some interesting.
Oh, totally. Well, that's
interesting
naughty.
things
That's
and
the naughty part.
Criminal behavior that we don't need to discuss.
Yeah.
The top half is a spokesperson half,
and
so I can peel his eyelids off and make him watch the Reuben being made over and over again on a loop, and he can eat it too.
The Reuben tastes what I imagine prison food tasting like.
I don't think prison food is this bad. I think we treat our prisoners humanely. I think in like a
at least as far
third
as
world country prison, maybe.
Okay.
Like in a third world country prison where like they don't even like check it. There's not a guard. There's not anyone like watching you.
Sure.
You're just in a locked cell.
And they throw this wrapped.
Like once a week, a Subway Reuben is sort of like tossed at you.
Yeah, this is... Every bite of it was torture. Every bite of it was just constant purgatory.
How do you mess up sauerkraut? Like, I don't know. It wasn't. Sauerkraut is like a strong thing. It wasn't good.
Stay away, guys. Stay away from Subway.
Because I think it would be cool if like sauerkraut could be put on other Subway sandwiches. Maybe.
I'm mad at the sandwich. I'm a little bit mad at you. I think you suggested that we do this.
Look, you were the one who said, let's do a podcast where we review seasonal and exciting and new fast food items. And I just, we
need to be a little bit pickier in the future. We need to really evaluate. Hey, you know how Subway's horrible? But let's give it a chance. Because we went in, we knew Arby's is a good restaurant.
Yeah.
So we went in thinking, okay, maybe I'll get this right. They didn't, but at least Arby's is still pretty good. Subway is a sham from top to bottom, and we still gave them the benefit of the doubt.
It's still popular. People
reason.
like Subway for some reason.
If you like Subway, why?
If you like Subway, buy the Reuben. You deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve that Reuben, and you deserve Subway. Deserve to eat cursed gypsy subs.
Eat the Reuben and realize you should never go to Subway again.
Let's wash this nasty taste out of our mouth.
Please.
Coming up next.
Let's can I just
you know what I
surf
need?
through an ocean of activity?
That's not bad, but I was going to say, you know what I need? I need a vacation.
Alola.
See, we didn't know who was going to clock us in, but I'm glad that you took the initiative, and that's a good one to clock in on. Alola. Now, Alola, is that basically the translation of Aloha in the actual universe?
It's yes.
Okay.
Because they don't say Aloha, welcome to the Alola region. They say Alola, and they do a weird hand wave.
Yeah.
They wave both hands in a like Mr. Miyagi is teaching them to wax off.
Sure.
Twice in a row.
Sure. We're going to be talking about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, and we might also talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon, because, fun fact, they're pretty similar.
Yes, to the point where I normally make time for games. I was up till 5, or no, I was up till 2, playing Mario Odyssey when that came out.
You were up till 2 playing...
I was up till 2 playing Pocket Camp when that came out. But I didn't find time to go down to the store and pick up to pick up Pokemon, rather. But you did. You're kind of the resident Pokemon. I think I know about Pokemon. You know the nitty gritty. You know, like, the really, like, in-depth thing. You're definitely way into Pokemon.
Yeah, I have some Pokemon shirts. I might have a Pokemon hat. I go to Pokemon events. Of this podcast, I am the resident Pokemon master. You're our expert cook.
Sure.
I am our expert trainer.
We are both almost 30 years old.
And mine is a practical skill.
No, it's not. Do you put that on your resume? Do you put certified Pokemon master?
No.
You should. That might impress. You know what?
Eventually we'll impress somebody. Eventually we're going to be the ones
Give it 5 years.
Of...
Give it 5 years.
Yeah.
You're going to be in an interview for a job, and they're going to say Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander.
And without hesitation, I'm going to say Bulbasaur.
Okay. I think they'll respect any choice as long as you can defend it.
Yeah.
The only indefensible one is Squirtle, I think. But we're not talking about Pokemon.
In general.
We're talking about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Now,
which just came out recently. It's the sequel game to Pokemon Sun and Moon, which they've done before with Black 2 and White 2, as far as released 2 sequel games. Previously, it started with Pokemon all the way back in Gen 1, the yellow version, and they had Crystal, Emerald, Platinum, as the generations went through. And then, with Pokemon Black and White in Generation 5, the sequel game, instead of being like Pokemon Gray or Pokemon like Prism or something like that, they made a sequel game, Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2, which were actually really good games.
Actually, felt a little bit different. I know the progression certainly was different. The different towns that you went to and everything.
Yeah, they also had it was a sequel storyline. So as far as it took place after, the one of your companions in Pokemon Black and White was the first gym leader in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. So he had stepped up and became rank of gym leader in the break between games. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon plays more like Crystal, Emerald, or Yellow version in that it is sort of just an alternate telling of the same story. It's got a lot more bells and whistles. There's a lot more mystery to it. But essentially, it's the same game, which is what we were expecting. Maybe I was hoping that it'd be a sequel game like it was before with Black 2 and White 2. But, they didn't...
I might have been inclined to pick it up on the first day if it was a little bit different. But there was some things that I saw in the previews, like Team Rainbow Rocket, and they barely touched on that. And they added a few Pokemon that looked pretty interesting. But what were the If there are any, what were the big differences that you found in this game?
Yeah, well, so the big difference, and usually with the third game in a Pokemon series, they focus a lot on the cover legendary that you didn't get to experience in the original game. So like in Crystal version, Suicune was on the cover, so you had to do a lot with Suicune. In this game, Necrozma is the one who is like an Ultra Beast, but not quite so, that is sort of guiding the game. That the new characters who are sort of following you around on your journey who weren't there before, called the Ultra Recon Squad, and they actually live in that Ultra Wormhole parallel universe. And they're very technology driven. They don't know a lot about sort of the customs of Pokemon trainers and whatnot. So they're still learning, and they try, like, they sort of pick some stuff up very slowly, but they are trying to find a way to solve a problem, and Necrozma's the problem. And, you know, there's the fusion you see in the cover with
now
Solgaleo or Lunala.
Their Pokemon, do they have Ultra Beasts? Like, do they use Ultra Beasts when they're fighting?
They do. There's there's 3 new Ultra Beasts. One of them is an Ultra Beast with an evolution, which is, you know, we weren't expecting that. Because the Ultra Beasts, in a way, are barely Pokemon. It was weird looking at them to call them Pokemon. Especially just from a gameplay or competitive standpoint, the Ultra Beast is like everything a competitive Pokemon player ever wanted. They have... most Pokemon have like a balance in their stats. They got a little bit of HP, a little bit of defense, a little bit of attack, a little bit of speed. It's all balanced out. The Ultra Beasts like pick 2 stats, put all the points there, and then everything else is super frail. So you've got like a Kartana, which is very strong and very defensive and very fast, but his special defense is super low. He's a piece of paper. He's very flimsy. You've got Celesteela, on the other hand, who's not very strong, but is incredibly bulky and pretty slow. So they're really like one end of the spectrum or the other. And so this new Ultra Beast is no different. It's like a poison dragon, so it's kind of like a Dragalodge from X and Y,
Okay.
Generation 7. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Okay, yeah. It was like a poison horsey, I suppose. But yeah, so there's a new Ultra Beasts, which are the only Pokemon that were added. Pokemon from previous games you can find in the wild. So if you were looking for that, if you didn't play through Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon is a perfectly good time to jump in. If you played through Sun and Moon and you're only playing these games for like the story, you could probably pass on Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You could probably watch a video to see the differences, because there's not much. You get to the end of the game, you can catch a lot of the legendaries from previous games. You can catch Heatran, you can catch Cresselia, you catch Thundurus, Landorus, depending on which version you get.
Sure.
And that was the thing that they started doing in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So as far as those were the remake games, sort of the secondary games to X and Y. And the way Nintendo or the Pokemon Company kind of uses these games on the competitive scene is it's sort of like a patch. Because the second game always has move tutors in it. And so the move tutors offer new movesets to different Pokemon, so you have more variety in what attacks you can use, which, you know, changes the competitive scene quite a bit. And then there's new legendaries and new Pokemon that are available in the Pokedex for actual use. So that's kind of cool. Now,
it's not fair for me to rate it, but what do you rate it?
So, I mean, it's exactly what you asked for, but it is a full-priced 3DS game.
It's not like a DLC thing. It's just it's a full price.
And it is but I mean, it's in the same way that, so the problem I have with it is that it's 2 separate games. It's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. If it was gonna be like a Platinum or an Emerald, it should have just been Pokemon Stars. So Sun, Moon, Stars, like that.
Yeah.
If they were gonna do 2 games like with Black 2 and White 2, it should have been a sequel.
I agree.
You at the end of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and at the end of this game, you win the first Pokemon League. Like the Islands of Alola decide that instead of just doing like the trial champion things on the 4 islands where you fight the 4 big kahunas and win the trial championship, that they're gonna make gym leaders. And
exactly, and that's what I was looking forward to.
Yeah, and I thought that we were gonna play through a new
The
Alola
new formed league.
where there were 8 gyms that were set up, and you actually had to do gym battles and collect gym badges. And then they would still do it a little differently because it's Alola. It's like the first time they've ever done the Pokemon League, and they're trying it new. But instead, there's extra features of a story you've already played.
That said, do you think we're gonna see yet another game in this generation, or do you think this is it for Generation 7? Because that remains to be seen, that whole, league aspect. Do you think they're gonna either make DLC or phone it into a different or is that what we're gonna get a taste of in the upcoming Switch Pokemon?
Yeah, I know that they've said the next Pokemon games are gonna come out on the Switch. I think we're gonna have Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon as a game, at least in the competitive community, for a while. I think it's gonna have the same longevity that Black 2 and White 2 had, which was like a long while. Because I think those also came out alongside Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And so that was just a period. There was a long period before Gen 5 and Gen 6 when X and Y basically blew everything out of the water. And X and Y didn't have a sequel game. There was no Zygarde featured Pokemon Z version.
No.
I think that it'll be a new generation on the Switch.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll make anything else out of Alola. I really like everything that they did with Alola. I liked that the game played a little bit differently.
I like that. You had 8. You no longer had to deal with HMs. That was a big thing that I loved. I hope that they will keep that in future games. But I did miss the gym leaders. I didn't want them to deviate from that. I miss gym leaders.
Yeah, well, you still have the captains.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't. And some of them you didn't. They're optional to fight because you just have to do the trial.
Yeah.
And the trial can just be watch these Marowak dance.
Yeah, it's pass. That's a hard pass.
They did make the trials more challenging. As far as the puzzles that the trials consist of are all different, and they are all more challenging. Okay. So on that front, it is new, but it is still, it's still trials.
So what are you giving this game?
Let's see.
Let's rate it in delicious, island treat, big malasadas.
All right.
How many big malasadas are you going to give this? I'm
still enjoying it. And I mean, sometimes I feel like playing it is responsibility, just because I compete.
Sure.
I'm going to give it 3 malasadas out of 5.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Down the middle.
And you know what? I'm going to probably pick it up, just because I'm a completionist as far as Pokemon's concerned.
Yeah.
I have
to
get
this is the version that you'll be able to complete the Pokedex in.
There you go.
As far as you'll be able to catch everything in the game. Or at least except for some event Pokemon. But the same way with sort of the sequel games, I think Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because they have the ability to catch legendaries from previous games in them, it's where you can catch all of the Pokemon in the Pokedex in that game without a whole lot of extra work.
And let me ask you this. Do you think we're going to get, this generation, remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl?
I know that we will get them.
Oh, we'll get them. I just don't know if it's going to be soon or later.
Whew. It's not going to be... Ooh, that's a tough one to say.
Because remember, we didn't get the remakes when Black and White came out. That would have been the regular timeline. I feel like it's remake.
Well, when Black and White came out, it would have been Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
And Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
No, they came out... Heart Gold, Soul Silver came out after Diamond and Pearl.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay, so we should have gotten Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire a generation earlier.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. I feel like we're still on a dual screen system. Remember how the DS stood for dual screen?
Yeah. Or developer system. And it didn't have a set name, by the way.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Shows what I know. So long ago. But Diamond and Pearl was the first game on Nintendo's sort of foldable 2-screen system. I think the remake for Diamond and Pearl will not be on a foldable 2-screen system.
Okay. Could it be on a portable touchscreen system? Kind of like the Switch.
I think it could be.
Okay.
I think it would play really well. And I'm excited, personally, for Pokemon on Switch.
Me too. I think whatever we're dreaming up right now, it's not close.
Huh.
I think it's going to be a total curveball, for good or for worst, or for better or for worst. It's going to be. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be something we haven't expected yet. And
my dream has always been a multi-region game.
Yeah, but they're not giving us that.
No,
that's a pipe dream.
Nintendo, when I was a child, put a chip in my brain that can read my thoughts, and they know my desires, and they print them out on a list, and they say, "Let's never do any."
Oh, totally.
Of this.
That's why we'll never get a good Paper Mario game again, because they know I want it.
Yeah, Jelly likes these things. Let's never do.
Throw those directly into the trash.
Mm-hmm. And it's all games. All games seem to do that.
But let's wash all this horrible heartbreak out of our heads.
Yeah,
let's have something sweet.
Let's do it. Let's start up a campfire, and get some s'mores.
Yeah.
Now, baby, stack that beef. Lay that Swiss. Whoa. Wrap it up. Oh, a basket instead. Okay. Reuben is back for a limited time at Subway. So much Reuben.
And we're back. I'm sorry. My mouth is like ablaze with corn, like an ultra saccharine flavor.
It's stuck together.
Yeah, it's not good. This is a really depressing episode. The Subway was a total loss.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten to play Pokemon. And then we decided to have a sweet treat, and it wasn't sweet. It was hard to eat for me anyway.
I sure hope next week goes better for you.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go on hiatus and maybe start like a clean living podcast. Like we're just gonna eat salad, and tofu.
We'll call it Eat Game Love.
Hey!
Actually, copyright that. Nobody's allowed to steal that.
No one's allowed to steal Eat Game Love. We're going to write a terrible novel.
Yep.
Anyway.
I don't want to go to India, though.
I don't want to go to any place. I remember when I was mad that we actually had to get out and eat at the Subway. Like, I'm a big drive-through guy. So I could not have been more mad before, during, and after.
Yeah, I mean, even last week you were talking about how dirty the restaurant was.
What did we have last week?
Farmhouse King.
Oh yeah, it was dirty. It was a filthy. One time I was in a Del Taco.
Do you know where you are now? Are you okay?
I'm suffering from Reuben syndrome.
Oh boy, we could probably mark it like
which is a new disease that you get after
Subway has given us.
It feels like you fall out of space time because of something horrible that you ate.
Yeah. Here, we're gonna shred some paper towels and call it sauerkraut. Here's some protein product.
I gotta tell you my quick Del Taco dog story.
Okay.
So I was in a Del Taco and it was in a relatively nice neighborhood, but it was always vacant. Like this Del Taco had very little action, right? And me and a bunch of friends went inside after, it was in high school, so we went after school and we decided we're gonna have Del Taco for lunch. And there's a dog there. There's a dog in the restaurant.
Like how big of a dog?
Like it was a black Labrador.
Okay.
And we're just like, what? There's a dog. And there was another guy, a guy eating alone. This is probably his dog. He probably brought it in. It wasn't a service dog, but, I like dogs, so I don't care. I'm not going to make a fuss. I like dogs. Mm-hmm. We sit down, we eat. The guy that we thought it belonged to leaves, and he doesn't take the dog with him. So this dog didn't belong to him. And I asked at one point the cashier, because it looked like there was only one person working there. It was the cashier, and they were also running the kitchen in the back. So we had to wait a little bit longer for our meal, but it didn't matter to us. What restaurant were we in? And I say...
Yeah, a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah, we have nowhere to be. And I asked her, is that your dog? And she's like, no, just came in. So... in certain Del Tacos, there's just a random roving dog, like it's the middle of Mad Max, and it's just just wandering around the table. It was so unsettling, and I still...
Hey, black labs have rights.
I I like Black Labradors, and they're very gentle dogs, but it was just so weird to just have a stray dog in the middle of a Del Taco. This is before their rebranding, too, so it was like that time of when Del Taco was still kind of trashy. But I guess they have a no Black Lab policy now at their restaurants, because I've yet to see a wild dog in a fast food restaurant since
people
then.
got a lot more persnickety about that. Only service dogs allowed.
Yeah, which is silly.
I feel like somebody got in charge of making the rules who had a problem with animals.
Some people are allergic, I guess.
No animals.
But I think it's few and far between that are allergic to animals. Anyway, but enough about stray dogs and Del Tacos. We had Chips Ahoy s'mores cookies. Is that what we had?
They're new. You know, that's the thing we like to do. We like to try the
We like to stay
thing.
relevant.
Fresh.
I didn't like it. Can you tell us about what was in it?
Well, it's a cookie. The cookie base tasted like there was probably graham crackers ground up in the flour. I was getting you said you weren't getting a graham cracker taste.
I got nothing.
But I was getting a graham cracker taste from the cookie. In the middle was a sort of chocolate adjacent thing. I don't know what you would call the flavor.
You know what it was? And you know why I didn't like it? It was fudge. It tasted like fudge.
Okay.
It tasted like overly sweet chocolate.
Yeah, well, you know what it tasted to me? It tasted like those Pop-Tarts I hate. The stuff that's in the middle of those s'mores or fudge Pop-Tarts.
It was very
reminiscent. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a classic kind of Pop-Tart person.
No, you're right to hate those. They're not good.
When I remember being a kid, everybody would be like, "Oh, I want the Pop-Tart that's got 12 names." 12 ingredient in the name. It's got the super fudge, awesome cinnamon,
trash,
swirly chocolate fudge, white chocolate mocha Pop-Tart. And I'm like, can I just get some brown sugar cinnamon over here?
Yeah, just give me a frosted strawberry.
Can you bring back wild berry, please?
Yes.
We could do an episode on that.
We can do an entire episode on Pop-Tarts, I think. Because they're all delicious. Well, not all of them, I guess we established right now. But
schedule it.
The main ones are delicious. And Chips Ahoy, to that effect, are also delicious. I think the Chips Ahoy Chewy is a perfect cookie. I have eaten an entire carton in one sitting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're so good. Milk's... Is it Milk's? No, that's Oreo. Milk's favorite cookie is Oreo.
Yeah.
Which are also good, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these putrid s'mores.
Yeah. And then it had, I guess there was supposed to be
marshmallow quote-unquote marshmallow. I'm pretty sure...
They're probably just white chocolate
Probably just
chips.
white chocolate. Disgusting.
I mean, I don't know what a marshmallow tastes like. Or how it's different than white chocolate.
Marshmallow's more of a... It is sweet, but it's less cloying than I think white chocolate is. And it's also more of a texture thing.
Yeah. And I think marshmallow is more of a texture thing.
Yeah, and I've had a s'mores cookie before, like a chocolate cookie with nuts and marshmallow in it. That's delicious. But this wasn't. This was just, it tasted like, how much sugar can we shove into one cookie? Yeah,
and I don't know. It was fudge in the center of it.
Unnecessary.
It was a stuffed cookie.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
You already have the perfect cookie. You should work backwards from that. You shouldn't try to
if you just put a graham cracker in the dough like you did, and had maybe a marshmallow chip to put in addition to the chocolate chips on it, probably would have been even better. And on the package, it says try microwaving them for 10 seconds.
Yeah, that didn't fix it for me. In fact, it probably made it worse.
Because then the fudge really is boldened.
Yeah, it underlined it, and it just reminded me why I hated this cookie. What are we gonna rate? Let's rate this cookie, because we brought up Pop-Tarts. Let's rate this cookie in a better treat, which is a Pop-Tart. Let's rate it in Pop-Tarts.
Now, when we rate it in Pop-Tarts, are we rating it in Pop-Tarts individually or Pop-Tarts in a sleeve? Because in a sleeve of Pop-Tarts, there's 2 pastries.
That's a good point. Let's rate it individually to keep it simple.
Okay. So if we rate it 5 out of 5, which we won't, but if we did, that would technically be 2.5 Pop-Tart sleeves.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
When you're portioning out your Pop-Tarts?
Why
would they need to keep this in mind?
We think a lot about these rating scales, and I hope you appreciate it, audience.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot about them. You're just... Well, actually, it's a sleeve and the Pop... you're getting...
You always ask me which half of whomever...
Unnecessarily particular about it. So... What are you gonna rate these?
It's too sweet. It's too sweet. I don't like it. But frickin' your kids probably love it, so buy it for them.
Don't give it to them. They're gonna be bouncing off the walls.
I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5?
Pop-Tart sleeves.
Okay. I'm giving it 1 out of 5. I'm giving it 1 out of 5. Wait, Pop-Tart sleeves? Did we decide we're doing individual Pop-Tarts?
2 Pop-Tarts out of 5. That's 1 Pop-Tart sleeve.
I thought we were doing individual Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, 2 out of 5 Pop-Tarts.
These cookies are giving us... they're giving us the delirium. I'm gonna give this Pop-Tart. I'm gonna give this cookie 1 out of 5 strawberry frosted Pop-Tarts. No sleeves involved. Sleeves are messy. Don't get involved with the sleeves. This is like a church potluck, and it's just open service breakfast bar. They're not in sleeves. They're just individual Pop-Tarts. You can grab them. That's my situation. I don't know about you.
Mine's 2 out of 5. It's not strawberry frosted. It's the gross chocolate fudgy Pop-Tarts that Elf puts on his spaghetti in the movie Elf.
Okay.
Like, so they're not Pop-Tarts that I even want.
I like that you're keeping it seasonal with your Elf reference.
It's December.
Yeah. 1 out of 5. I'm not going back to it. Chips Ahoy, you already have a perfect cookie. Just stick to that.
Yeah.
Don't
give this to your own kids. Give these to... Is there someone that you don't like? Give it to their kids.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
These are like a revenge cookie. This is a cookie you should gift someone out of spite.
Yeah, this is a spite
like, you know
cookie.
what? I think you're having too good a time with your kids. Have a s'mores cookie.
How's your day going? Good? Here. Chow down. Chow down, pal. And that said, if you like what you hear...
this episode is turning people off, I'm sure.
Totally. They probably are not only turned off to us, but food.
I go to Subway almost every day.
Oh, that's depressing. That's profoundly depressing. If you eat Subway, if you're excited to go to Subway, I don't know what to tell you, pal.
You remember the Subway commercial where a guy went to Subway so often that they had memorized his order?
Ugh.
And the whole crux of the commercial.
No, but that's depressing.
Was the usual? The usual.
At any fast food restaurant, if they memorize your order, that's not a good thing. That's I wanna stay very anonymous to my fast food employee because then I have a problem.
You shouldn't know who I am.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be there enough that you recognize me.
If you like what you hear. Give us a shout out.
Are you trying to end the show?
I'm trying to end the show. Give us a shout out at gameandgrubpod. gameandgrubpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, please email us questions or comments. Suggestions.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on iTunes.
And we just hit the Google Play Music Store.
Absolutely.
So if you listen to podcasts on Google Play for some reason, you can find us there as well.
And make sure to leave us a rating and a comment too, if you'd like to do that too.
Should we go on YouTube? Do you think we should put this podcast
I think,
on
you
YouTube?
know what? I think I'll probably stick a few up there because I've got to reach there. So definitely do that. And if there's more of a clamor and call for that, I'll start uploading the episodes.
Email us if you want to listen to this podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know some people have said I listen to podcasts on YouTube. I was like, okay.
Okay, I might do that. But until then,
find us on iTunes.
And we'll see you next week. Don't forget to eat
your games
your
and
food
playing with
and
your games.
extra gravy, please.